Has the Bank of England reached its peak, or are we headed for yet more rate rises? Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Sam here, back for another video, and today, of course, we're talking about interest rates and, more importantly, the Bank of England's base rate. So next week, the Bank of England's Monetary Policy Committee meet yet again to decide whether or not the base rate is going to stay the same or go up. Let's be honest, it ain't going down, is it? But are they going to hold for yet another month after they held for the first time last month in 14 consecutive times of asking, or are they going to push it up again? Now, last week, we actually saw that the rate of inflation in the UK stayed at 6.7%. This was after last month. It went down slightly from 6.8 to 6.7%, not something economists were predicting. And partly as a response to this, the Bank of England's Monetary Policy Committee held the base rate at 5.25%. It was close though, guys. 9 members of the Monetary Policy Committee and 4 of them out of the 9 voted to actually put it up. So 5 voted to keep it the same and 4 voted to put it up. So it was a really, really close vote. We have to remember that. Now, straight after that vote, I actually came out and said that I think it was quite a clever move by the Bank of England for a reason that you might not have thought. Now, inflation is starting to take a bit of a downward curve. The Bank of England could clearly see that the base rate rises that had come before it were starting to take effect. In fact, one of my favourite quotes that came out of that news was that the Bank of England had administered the medicine to the UK economy, and we were starting to see the effects of that take place. But of course, we know that things can change pretty rapidly. We are seeing some atrocities happen over in Israel at the moment. There's issues politically over in the US, and who knows what is around the corner. No one could have predicted that we were going to go into a pandemic yet just a couple of years ago. So by keeping the base rate at 5.25%, the Bank of England actually kept something back in their arsenal, a tool in their belt, if you will, to mean that they still had something to combat the rate of inflation in the UK if they didn't feel as though it was continuing to decrease on target. Well, guess what? This month, inflation stayed the same, 6.7%. So, look, does that mean that the Bank of England are now worried and they're going to actually now increase the base rate next week? Being honest, I'm not so sure. If you'd asked me last month if I thought the Bank of England were going to hold their base rate, I would have actually said, yes, I think they will. At the moment, I think we're really on the fence. I think it was a bit of a surprise that the rate of inflation held at 6.7. I think they were hoping for something more around the sort of 6.4, 6.3 mark. Because don't forget, at the beginning of this year, our Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, came out and said, I am planning that by the end of the year, we are going to be in sub 5% inflation figures. Now at 6.7 in October, does that leave us enough room to get sub 5% by the end of December? I'm going to be honest, I'm starting to wonder whether we are. And are the Bank of England's Monetary Policy Committee going to share my concerns? If they do, there's a good chance that we are going to see another rate rise. I've gone on record to say that I think that the max rate that we can go to in the UK without serious issues starting to form is 5.75%, which if we go on an increment of 0.25% per base rate rise, that gives us 2 opportunities to raise the base rate over the next few months to really kill that rate of inflation. So are the Bank of England going to pull the trigger? Yes or no? That's the big question. I think really it is completely on the fence. And I think if whatever the way the vote goes, I do think, again, it's going to be a really close split. Another 5-4 vote is definitely on the cards. I think if we'd even seen a 0.1 or a 0.2% decrease in inflation, that pretty much would have said that the base rate was going to stay the same. Now that it's stayed as it is at 6.7, I think it's anyone's guess, and I really wouldn't be surprised if we saw the base rate at 5.5 come Thursday next week. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Are we headed for another base rate rise? I'd really love to hear what you guys think is gonna happen. It's always fun to see your comments and to see your feedback. So let's get a conversation going in the comments, and I guess we'll find out on Thursday next week. Now you can come and join me next week as I react live over on Instagram to the base rate news as it comes in. I generally go live just before 12 as that is when the base rate announcement comes in. So click on the link down in the description to go and follow me on Instagram and join me next week just before 12, and let's learn the fate of the UK economy together. Thanks very much for watching as always, guys, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. And don't forget to hit the notification bell as I am posting videos fairly regularly now, or at least I will start to do them much more regularly and keep you guys up to date with what's going on, not just in the economy, not just in the mortgage market, but also what's going on in the world of property. Thanks again for watching, I'll catch you on the next one.